It was, I believe it was the year was 2000. Scott Steiner, WCW, ends up cutting this promo on Nitro, eviscerating Ric Flair. It makes no sense because he wasn't feuding with Flair, but it makes perfect sense because it's Scott Steiner and he's nuts. So anything he says is just like you just kind of go with it and listen. And I remember watching this, as a fan, as a kid when he originally said it, and like cracking up. But I was like, is this leading to something with him and Flair? I was like, that was weird. That was out of nowhere. Why is he telling me to go watch Monday Night Raw? Because Steve Austin is way better than Flair, and that Flair and his friends got rid of all the good talent that was there. And I mean, he just went off on Ric Flair. But the funny thing is that somebody had mentioned in the comments when I saw this on Twitter, they said everyone backstage is afraid of Steiner. No one is saying, which I would be too. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to say anything to him either. But they said there was one lone nut job, if you will. There was one lone guy that was so pissed at Steiner, he had to say something to him, and that person was you. So what? I know you were kind of saying that you remember what happened, but what was the promo about? Why did he do that? And then what did you say to him? Because apparently you were the only person that was man enough or had balls enough to say, like, Scott, what the fuck are you doing?
That's basically what I said to him. Him and Rick really loathed one another. And Scott, I respect Scott for everything he ever did, and Rick too. Uh, but he went out there and he had held animosity to Flair for a long time, and I think it went both ways. Except Flair could hide it a little bit better. And he just went off and he had enough, and he cut that promo, and then he's telling our fans to turn to watch Austin and watch Raw. Well, here's the thing: you can lose your temper, but now you're talking about you're hurting not Ric Flair, you're hurting the whole company, and guys are getting paid. And I went up to him, and all I said was, Scotty, this was not the way to do it. This makes no sense. You wasted your precious time on a promo, and why did you do it? And he says, "Well, I'm a heel. That's what we do." So I think right from when he was. I'm not going to say it was almost like he saw what he did when I brought it up to him, and he kind of. I mean, he was one of the toughest guys in the business, but I think he understood that at that moment, with nobody calling him out, but me bringing it up to him, and it wasn't a calling out. I just brought up, "What are you doing?" That he saw maybe he overstepped the line and let his emotions get the worst of him. And then I've never had a problem with Scott Steiner. You know what I mean? Uh, one, I always talk to you about posters. You put Steiner on a poster, and anybody, it looks like King Kong versus Godzilla. You know what I mean? With Goldberg and all the other ones. But no, so I mean, I think I just kind of said to him, "Hey, that he could reflect and say, yeah, I really screwed up. I wasted time." But the hatred was so bad, so bad.
Now, this is a dumb question, but were you scared at all, like when you went up to him? Because it doesn't seem like it.
No, I mean, I had the thought that there was not ever going to be anything because I wasn't calling him a name, or I approached it very, very professionally. I just asked him, "What did you do that for? Why? Why did you do it?" And I think at that moment, nobody else had ever confronted him, I don't think. I think at that moment he might have said, "Yeah, he's absolutely right. I wasted my time there." You know what I mean?
You think he was surprised that you confronted him? Because, like you said, nobody really confronted him before.
I don't, probably, but I don't, I mean, there was no animosity. And when he said, "Yeah, yeah," I knew I had it when he said, "Yeah, I'm heel. I'm doing a heel promo." I said, "Yeah, against Ric Flair, and you're not working with Rick." So I think at that moment, he might have saw, yeah, I let my personal problems with Flair get involved, and jar of some money.